the one and only Primal Podcast. I'm your host, Matt, and this program is brought to you by Primal Health and Nutrition, where we are bringing you back to our roots. This entire episode can be downloaded online, or it can be viewed or listened to on YouTube. You can also review the transcript if you go online at primalhn.com, where you can click the home menu, and then you don't really need to click it, you just sort of hover over it, and then there's a blog button where you can access tons of extra information, not only on the AIP diet, but the paleo diet, the keto diet, and the SED diet, or specific carbohydrate diet. There are lots of different diets that help people overcome a bunch of different things, including pain and weight and a whole lots of other things. The last couple of episodes, we have been going over what can be consumed, or rather what cannot be consumed while living the paleo autoimmune diet, or AIP. Last week we talked about fructose and non-nutritive sweeteners. This week we're going to discuss nightshades. Now, when I first heard nightshades, I wasn't really sure what it was when I was introduced to the AIP diet. However, they are, so that's probably the first question we ask. What are nightshades? Nightshades are vegetables like tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, peppers. The bad peppers are the hot and the sweet, but black peppers are okay. It also includes goji berries and chili-based spices. Now, this will probably bring a frown to your face because there are a myriad of cuisines that use all of these vegetables, and possibly in the same dish. However, if you have an autoimmune disease and consume them, it can wreak havoc on your body. So there are three major reasons why the vegetables should be avoided, and we'll discuss each in detail. The first reason is that nightshades contain saponins. It's kind of a funny word, and you may have heard it said differently, but this is the most consistent way that I've heard it. Okay. However, these glycocolloids, another weird word, can aggravate leaky gut. Saponins come from foliage, okay, so your fruits or flowers. And though these foods have many benefits for many people, if you're in the autoimmune community, saponins kill that benefit. Saponins are also containing grains and legume, which is why they're to be avoided. And we'll talk more about legume and grains, but you'll actually get a bit of a taste right now. They're derived from plants with the saponins, and their main objective is to protect the plant from insects and microbes. This happens when the saponins attack cell membranes of these predators and degrade them. So this is why saponins irritate leaky gut and allow them to pass through the bloodstream and ultimately cause flares. So it's really similar to all the other reasons we talked about last week and the week before in the previous episodes, is that when we begin to break that cell wall, it gives that opportunity for it to enter into the bloodstream, and then it begins to get around the rest of your body and cause havoc, cause flares, cause discomfort in a bunch of different ways. So even though nightshades have nutritional benefits for many, they're trumped because of those saponins, and that are also contained in grains and legume. Okay, so the second reason, we'll go into that, is that nightshades contain a lot of lectin. And if you're a chiropractor or hip in the movement, not all lectin is bad, but those contained in nightshades can cause concern. So, truth be told, however, no complete analysis has been conducted to determine the physiological breakdown and the effects these plants have on those with autoimmune diseases. But it's clear enough that we need to show caution, but it still is pretty much academic. Again, it kind of comes back to, how do you feel? How does your body react? And that's kind of the case. It's a case-by-case basis, but this is kind of the broad spectrum. But overall, you still have your saponins in there, along with the lectin. It's going to cause some problems. So lectin in nightshades can increase intestinal permeability and resistance to digestion. like eggs, they also have the ability to interact with other proteins in the membrane. And all these attributes contribute to amplified leaky gut. Okay? And that is, well, it can be described a couple different ways, but leaky gut leaks upward, can leak outward into the bloodstream, cause flares, that can also be associated with some acid reflux. That happens to me. Okay, so we're going to go on to reason 3, but before I do that, you may have guessed, I'm going to thank Primal Health and Nutrition for sponsoring us. Their Paleo Perfection Protein is a cut above the rest. They have formulated their grass-fed beef collagen protein powders around the AIP diet. This was specifically made for the AIP diet because the founder has relatives that have suffered from it. So you can enjoy all the supplements worry-free. Some of them do contain a pinch of organic stevia, but that can be reintroduced not too long after the elimination stage. So the natural paleo protein, however, is 100% AIP compliant. It's got, again, the grass-fed beef collagen in it, but then it also has loads of healthy fruits and vegetables, superfoods that are contained in it, up to, I think it's 30-some-odd%. So it's not just like a token amount that's thrown in there. It's actually a good amount of organic superfood blend that helps promote your health. So, and recently we had a kind of a little review, and the fan of this product said, I'm very impressed with the cherry chocolate. This is huge for the AAB community. Thanks so much for sharing. So give it a try today by going to primalhn.com. Again, that's primalhn.com. Clicking on the store at the top of the menu. You can't miss it. It's upper left-hand corner. Placing your order, and you can also find it on Amazon, Bonanza, eBay, all the big online retailers. Okay? So, reason 3. Let's get this revealed. So what is the last reason? Some nightshades, like peppers, contain capsaicin. Okay? Let me try that one more time. Capsaicin. I think I said it right. Which will actually light up your world in the worst possible way. Because that is what heats up your salsa. Okay? That's what makes things hot. When I was younger, I liked to make a really nice, tasty Italian dish where in the sauce I would put a good amount of habanero, and I would make that thing just light up. For some reason, I just loved it. I loved it when my eyes were watering. I just loved it. Now I can't do that. But it triggers acid reflux and leaky gut. Excuse me. But the biggest thing with leaky gut is that if the more frequently occurs, the more likely we're able to create allergens in our body. So I don't know if this is exactly what happened with me, but as I had more and more hot foods and all these different things we've talked about, the capsaicins and the lectins and I'm drawing a blank here right now. The saponins. My body, I'd never had allergies in my life, ever. I didn't have a problem ever. I could go outside, I could eat anything I wanted, but through time, I think that may have been one of the reasons why I eventually developed an allergy for different foods, an allergy for external environmental type things. And so that's one of probably the biggest things is if you have some form of leaky gut, if it's happening frequently enough, it is going to begin to cause you to develop allergies. You're not just born with allergies. They can be developed. So be careful. Anyway, mostly capsaicins act as a severe irritant to our tissues. It can harm our skin, our eyes, and the mucous membrane. But perhaps most importantly, there's actually evidence that links capsaicins to increasing intestinal permeability. So the nice thing about, this isn't great news if you're learning more about the AAP diet. But the nice thing about the AAP diet is that at some point nightshades and other foods can or may be reintroduced to your diet. I eat some nightshades on occasion. And to be clear, I'm not a hardcore AAP dieter, but I use a lot of the principles within the diet that have helped me achieve better health. Now, I don't have any official autoimmune disease, but a lot of these things that I'm talking about can affect us individually in many different ways. Some have to hit it hard, others not as hard. But it is very beneficial to understand what is causing these different reactions in your body, and then removing those reactions, or removing that stimuli. In this case, as always, it's how our body reacts, and so we need to watch for flares or discomfort in our stomach or in our joints, or allergic reactions, or this, that, and the other. Okay, we have to be mindful of our body, even if we're not going to fully pursue the AAP diet. If you're in any other kind of a diet, if you're trying to improve your health in any other way, be mindful of how your body reacts to what you're consuming, because that will directly affect the way you're going to be in the future. So, well, I hope this was helpful. As we work towards healing our bodies from the inside out, we can rest assured that we will someday find relief if we are consistent and faithful and fight the good fight. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. See you next time, folks.